All right, so I talk about contrast of life a lot. The contrast of life is just those things that happen to us that make us see choices that we can have to take a different step from something that made us feel bad. And the laws of the universe are part of that contrast. And you go, what? Well, the laws of the universe work regardless of whether we believe them or not, regardless of whether we understand them or not. They have no gray area. They don't make choices for you. They don't decide what is for your greater good. They give us opportunity to make those choices for ourselves. So my soul wanted me to go over these 7 laws. When I first started doing Instagram, that was my gung-ho thing because I was excited about the law of attraction, and I still am. But as I have come into my awareness of who I am, the authentic me, and I've only dipped a toe into the authenticity of who I am. I haven't saturated my whole self in it. But I know that the laws of the universe are going to create for me in a better, advantageous format. Because I'm beginning to know who I am and what I want. I'm beginning to know what my soul's purpose is, what the potentiality of my soul is, and how to tap into these tools. So let's talk about this first law. It's called the Law of Divine Oneness. It simply states that everything was created by this oneness. Everything is connected. The seasons, the earth, the universe, the animals, the water, the sun and the moon, us, we're all one. We're all created through that oneness. It's believed that that was the first law that created everything. It simply states that we are interconnected forever. That's a long time. Forever. It simply states that we are energy and we are all connected by that same source of energy. Whether you call it God or Buddha, or whether you call it Allah or Yahweh or any of the names that we give God, it's source energy and we are interconnected with it. It can't be changed. It can't be argued. There is no gray area. It just is. Now, it would be better if we knew our authentic self so that we could really tap into it and really get to understand it, but that's okay because it works regardless of whether you believe it or not, regardless of whether you're conscious of it or not. It's just law. Let's talk about the second law, the law of vibration. It simply states that everything in this universe and the planets and the stars and the sun and the moon and us, we vibrate. The animals that are around us, the animal kingdom, the oceans, everything vibrates and nothing ceases to vibrate. It simply tells us that we as human beings, even when we sleep, are vibrating. Even the inanimate objects that we sit in, play with, vibrate. Everything has a frequency. And because everything vibrates, we are one with it. See how that ties together? Let's talk about the third one, the law of action. And let's go back one, law of attraction. We'll do law of action in a minute. Law of attraction, also known as law of manifestation, and I love this one, simply states that we vibrate and we create. Our thoughts and our feelings are vibrations. And whether we are conscious of them or not, there I go again, whether we believe in them or not, our feelings and our emotions create for us. The law of attraction has no gray area. It just creates what you want. If you're feeling negativity, that's what it's going to create. If I'm feeling love, that's what it's going to create. It's not going to ask you, well, what feeling are you having? Because it knows the feeling. It's just going to give you what you feel. It says, that's a feeling. It's not going to differentiate for you. That's why we have to get in touch with our authentic self. How do we authentically want to feel each and every day? Our authentic self, our soulful self, is going to say we are going to intend to feel great every day. We're going to feel those luscious, delicious, satisfying thoughts every day. Those thoughts that are for our greater good and for the greater good of those around us every day. It's going to acknowledge that we have some fear somewhere, but it's going to tell our mind, well, hey, look, we're going to replace it with something that feels better so that we can create better. That's our authentic self. Right? So now we get to law of action, which is an extension of the law of manifestation. Right? When we want to manifest something, we're going to have a great feeling. We're going to have a great thought. We're going to ask if it's for our greater good. And then if it is, we're going to simply ride that feeling. And then we're going to listen for the action that the law is presenting us and step into it. Right? That's law of action. It's just simply listening and feeling when the universe says, here it is. I've opened the door for you. Right? I've opened the door for you. All right. The fifth one is the law of correspondence. It simply says that in this physical world, in this world of duality, light, energy, vibration, and motion have a corresponding effect. If it's in duality, it's going to be in spirituality. It's going to be in consciousness. Right? What is in is out. What is out is in. Just basically, if you're having these raging energies of delight, that's coming from within and it's reflecting outward. And your world is going to have everything coming to you that's delightful and accessible and exciting. But if your world is raging with doubt and lack and insufficiency and hate and malice, then you have to look inward, because that corresponding energy is raging in you, right? And you have to fix it in there. You have to get down deep with you and say, what was this thought that I had? Where did it come from? And go back and access it and say, I see you. I'm going to give you love. I'm going to replace it. I'm going to show you a different story. So the outward will reflect what's inward, and the inward will reflect what's outward. Corresponding law. Right? So let's get to the sixth one. The law of cause and effect. It's also known as karma. And we think that karma is some white knight that comes to protect us when other people do us wrong, but that's not it. It's a mirror of self. It's a mirror of you. What you put out, you get back. What you give, you get. And there's no gray area. And it can't be changed. It's irrefutable. It just is. Whether you're conscious of it or not, whether you believe in it or not, it works regardless. So let's think about that. What you get is what you give. If you're giving negativity, you're going to get negativity. If you're giving love, you're going to get love. So let's talk about the sixth law, right? It's called the law of rhythm. And it simply states that everything flows. Everything begins and it slows. Like a pendulum, like a swing. You push it, it goes fast, and you just let go of it and it keeps going until it slows down. And if you're conscious and aware, you start pushing again, right? That's why we have to know us, because we can be conscious and aware of who we are authentically, what we want and what we don't want. If negativity is swinging, we can just let it stop, let it cease, and take hold of something else that's going to positively impact us. And we swing at that. We keep it going, right? We are responsible for everything we do and say. Whether we're conscious of it or not, whether we believe we are or not, we are conscious and aware creatures of the universe. We are gods and goddesses with so much power in us. And you have to authentically become aware of who you are authentically. The laws of the universe are your tool. They're gifted to you. They're ingrained in you. They're embedded in you. Right? You have to purposely start looking in to who you are. Start feeling who you are authentically and letting go of all those beliefs and paradigms and stories that other people have told you about yourself that have put you in a place of unhappiness or sadness or depression or anxiety ridden, and ride the wave of pure joy of who you are. Your soul is remembering. It's not broken, it's not hurt, it's not devastated. Your soul is just remembering every time you make a free will choice. So step into your authenticity of who you are and what you want to be and how you want to be it, because your soul is there for you. And you are awakening. Have a blessed, blessed day.